there and welcome back to the channel. Today's Speedpaint is super special. I'm finally bringing back a character I started designing years ago. She's been with me since the early days, but life, projects, and other characters kind of pushed her to the back burner until now. For this channel's redesign, I knew I had to revisit Saki and her siblings. I had previously created color palettes for the Hashira children, but I hadn't gotten around to redesigning them. I don't remember why I started this piece, but whenever at time I would sit down and make just a little bit of progress, I will admit that I got lazy and didn't create the line art at the end. I wanted this to be super quick, rip the band-aid off. Saki is as old as Alpha herself, and I unfortunately got so deep in my Minecraft hole that I hadn't finished her character sheet. So the tools that I used are obviously Clip Studio Paint. At this point in time, I'm just getting into using it more because I bought it only earlier in the year and was trying out a bunch of experimental things. All brushes and models I got from the Clip Studio Paint community. It helps a whole bunch to get a bunch of different types of assets to aid me in my pieces. I referenced one of the brushes that I used for Ella's hair in my Chibi Chaos designs, Speedpaint. And lastly, the black window with a bunch of images that you see me adding to from Pinterest is called PureRef. It's a recommendation from one of my friends, and this was my first time actually using it. In other speed paints or recordings, you'll be able to see the window in the corner. I can add any type of images and notes as well to optimize each step of my process. I usually add from Pinterest, but it can also be added from my computer or from Chrome itself. When it came to her physical features, I wanted to make her buffer, mainly because she's a fighter, and from my experience, scythes are heavy, especially when it comes to the materials that they're made from. I actually loved that I could make that distinction when using the models because I could add the muscle from the model and then emphasize it while drawing her body. As for the very obvious ass shot, yes, it was dramatic, but the main thing is supposed to be her tattoo presentation. The very nicely sculpted ass is something I wanted to do because I can, and it looks amazing. The three other poses on the right, I wanted some practice putting her into action poses. I'm thinking of drawing her in the pose on the top. I hadn't put her weapon in there because I was rushing to get this done for other reasons that I will be explaining. For her ears, I heavily struggled with them in the past because they are a replacement for regular human ears. So I tried to follow this reference that I found forever ago and thought that it was a great idea. When it comes to mapping out how it works, I tried to draw things out so it makes sense. In this case, her ears, I didn't want them to just be on the top of her head. I wanted them to function like ears. I accidentally made them look like fox ears, kind of, but I fixed it later on. Her hair wasn't a super big problem, but I wanted her hair tie to make sense, so I tried to make it look like a scrunchie that ties at the top and then goes underneath her ponytail. As for her combat gear, that's what I had the most trouble with. I had 2 different versions that I had come down to, but couldn't decide on which one, so ultimately I went with this one for the final design. I took the overcoat off and just stuck with the one piece and the boots. It took me so long to get what I wanted to do because I was trying to make it so intricate instead of something simple, like when I first designed her. With the boots, you can't tell, but the right one on the outside has a ribbon under the cuff. I was actually in a Discord chat with some people and asked for their input on whether I should do ankle boots or thigh highs, and you can see the result. Finally, I got to my simple design and decided to detail it and copy the design to the back so it matches. And the other outfits that she is drawn in is some kind of training outfit that I came up with on the fly. I had previously done this, but made it the same as Emiko's, so I wanted to do something different this time. What I did for her gloves, I had taken from this old design of having the left one up to her bicep and the right one stopping a little past her wrist. For the fingers, I added a top and bottom layer to kind of resemble an artist's glove so she could have a firm grip on her weapon. I also referenced her first design and sectioned her one piece into 4 different colors. As well as this design where the back of her boots has this kind of like pattern that sections down into the front. At this stage, I was already working on another drawing and I needed this piece done so I could use it as a reference. As mentioned, I skipped the line art and went to coloring. The palette I used was the one that I made last year and had yet to use. I changed a few things, but I'll have to update it later on. As for the cover piece, I colored it, but decided against keeping it. And finally, her iris. I'm keeping it the same as the time I drew it years ago because the design is beautiful and I really don't want to change any of it. As a courtesy to myself, I decided to clean up the rest of the sketches and color everything as well, just because I can. and she's done. I'm honestly so proud to finally bring her back into the spotlight. But this is just the beginning. I've got a few more characters waiting in the wings, some you've seen before if you've taken a look at my Instagram. Plus, my channel's birthday is right around the corner, and I've got something super special planned. Yes, it's a speed paint, but this one is beautiful and I cannot wait to share. So if you're not already, hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything. And if you enjoyed this one, check out my other art videos of my early days in Saki's development, which I will link below. I'll see you guys in our next siege. Bye-bye!